Yo, what is up, guys? It's Bankrupt Dope, back again with another video. And guys, we gotta talk. I gotta talk about Fu Xuan. She's great. She's awesome. She destroys MOC. She destroys a lot of content in the game, except the hardest content in the game. She is great, by all means necessary. She's a good defensive option, but the way they designed her kit and the way they designed that last swarm disaster, it doesn't work. So before we go ahead and she's gonna keep talking, let's go over what happened in Swarm Disaster 5, right? So when you go in here, right, and you go in and click Swarm Disaster 5, click Start Exploring, and you go in here to this torturous difficulty, right? If you choose any path that's not either Remembrance, Abundance, and or Preservation, you essentially are going to just die, which I'm really not a fan of, I'll be honest, because what's the point of having the other path if it's completely, it's not like it's a slight no. For most people, it is directly impossible, me included. It is impossible to run a non-defensive path in torture difficulty, which is kind of my question is why isn't the damage scaled higher for what we can do? And that's just the biggest thing. They gave these enemies so much health, damage, and defense. It is actually insane, but it doesn't feel like we didn't scale with it. The person stuff that they gave us did not. They just don't scale at all. And then you do after a while get stuck on 4. So you get some of y'all have to go through 4 now. Maybe. I'm sorry, I'm young. Maybe, just maybe, when you go ahead and complete the rest of the communing trial, maybe there's enough here that'll make it easier enough to get through. But you can see what I'm at now. I got 16, 10, 10, 11, 8, 7, 8, 6. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe it's not enough cushion, but I know as of right now, even with preservation, it doesn't work. And now let me tell you why. The problem with Fu Xuan's kit and with Swarm Disaster 5 in specific is more of how they tune the damage. The amount of damage you take. So let's say your Fu Xuan's health is 8. No, let's max it 10k. You have 10,000 health, right? But let's say the rest of your team has 3,000, around the 3,000 health mark, right? When your whole team has 3,000 health, and these bosses can AoE for over 20,000 damage. So meaning, without Fu Xuan, for example, your team's getting one-shotted with shields, is what I'm saying here. So let's say you go on with the Japard, you put up his fist, you give your full team shields, right? And a boss, that second phase boss, does an AoE attack and it kills everybody on your team with shields. That number, it's at least over 10,000. Most of the time it's over 10,000. Let's say if 3 of your characters died, minus your Japard, everybody else died, and they had about 3,000 health, that means they took about 10,000 damage in total. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What are you talking about, brother? So we'll go ahead and take it over here to Fu Xuan's abilities, right? Look at her skill. Activates Matrix of Prescience via which other members will distribute 65% of the damage they receive. Before this damage is mitigated by any shields to Fu Xuan for 3 turns. So,
more sugar intake needed. Time for some sweet tea.
So it is mitigated by shields, but it still hits health. So actually, you don't have to worry about the shields. But the thing is, these bosses still hit so hard if your shields are low or not full. Because then again, you don't get a 3,000 extra health of shield. You normally get a 500 plus, around there, that much of shield. And it just depends on how big your Japard is and all that. But let's say your shields run low and you got to get hit by AoE. And you take, like I said, let's say each character is going to take 3,000 physical damage to their health bar. When that happens across 3 characters and it goes to Fu Xuan, she can't live. Why can't she live? It's because there's damage mitigation, defense, do not matter anymore. Those things are irrelevant. Why? Because read what it says. Distribute 65% of the damage they receive to Fu Xuan. So Fu Xuan's her tanking is not what the thing in question here. It's the tanking of your teammates. And if your team is squishy, and it's not even that they're squishy, if your team is just average and they get hit by these big bosses of Swarm 5, Fu Xuan will die every time. It's the number's too high. The other characters in the game that are not tanks take too much damage from those big hits and swarm disasters, which even with it being cut to 65%, still kills. So that's how you know that those bosses hit hard. Guys, I ran a preservation run. Health at 8.5k. Like I said, I had a lot of preservation stats. I had HP stats. I had destruction. I had damage mitigate. Like I had so many good buffs. And Japard with his little swing, slam down every time he did it. No exaggeration. Every time he did it, my health dropped to the red and I was under 1,000 HP every single time. It just depended on which side of the screen that he attacked. If he attacks Japard and he goes far on the right side of the screen, the damage falls off because he's only attacking two characters, and the character being Fu Xuan and Japard. So therefore, the number that Japard takes is significantly less than the rest of the characters. And so when it takes her health bar, it doesn't take much because Japard's tanking. And with him tanking, Fu Xuan tanks. You see what I'm saying? But when it hits Fu Xuan, whenever you hit the middle of the screen, that attack hit all. I feel like there were times where the numbers are very inconsistent. I swear, I think he can target, and I think it can hit less than 4 people. I think it can hit 3, 2, and 1, depending on where he targets. I swear. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it does just always hit 4, and the defense, the way it was just proccing was just different. Maybe I just had more shields or something. Maybe that might have been it. But let's go with the other one. Let's say that it always hits the 4. Either way, when your health is constant, like more often than not, my health was dropping in the red under 1,000 HP every single time. And like I said, it's because the two characters on the other side of the screen are your offensive characters. And with them being offensive characters, unless you have them built defensively, all the possible damage that they could have taken goes straight to Fu Xuan. So even with shields, even with their large health or low health, it doesn't change how much damage would have been dealt. It doesn't change that. So if I'm going to give her 5,000 damage and my health is only 3,000 and I get smacked with that big hit, if I'm not mistaken, you're still taking about 5,000 damage. Well, it would obviously cut by the percentage, but like however high that number is, all that's going straight to Fu Xuan. And you only have, and I'm giving you the best case scenario, you have 9,999 health. You will still die. And like I said, if you take away the preservation, good luck, you're not surviving. You can't survive. It's not possible. She can't survive. And so, all this to say, Fu Xuan is a phenomenal character. I think she's going to help a lot of people survive other content in this game. And probably Swarm Disaster 4. If you're struggling with Swarm Disaster 4, she can probably get you to Swarm Disaster 4. 5, probably not. I'll just be so serious. Maybe 1 in 10 runs you'll complete, but more often than not, you're going to fail if you're trying to rely completely on Fu Xuan, because the way the game has it set is that you're not actually using the defense she has. You're using the HP she has more often than not. And with using her HP, HP can only go so high, and HP can't be cushioned. HP has no defensive stat on it. It's a number. So when the numbers are exceeded by bigger numbers across your team, she dies. And that's exactly what Swarm Disaster 5 does to you. It's just taking the health of your other teammates all combined and slamming it on her. And if that number is just bigger than her health bar, she dies. And more often than not, it will be bigger than her health bar or quite close to it, which will lead to her dying. And it's just tough. It is just tough. So I just wanted to go throw it out there to say that it's not that she's bad. She's still great. It's a minor problem that some of you will notice. I'm just giving it out there in advance so that you know what you will be getting into if you think that you're about to grab her and carry. Do not grab her to think she's carrying you through 5. She's not doing that. You will still die. I just want to make that clear. And this really just goes for a lot of the normal people out there. Now, obviously, you got the micro optimal players out there. They're like, well, I didn't experience. We're not talking to you right now. We're not talking to you. I'm talking about to all of the average players with average accounts. Do not pick up Fu Xuan as a carry for Swarm 5. I don't think you should be doing anything for specifically for Swarm anyway. Now, just to improve your account overall, MOC and Swarm, go for it. But just Swarm, no. It is not worth to pick up a character specifically just for Swarm because we don't know how they're going to continue to do that activity. We don't know if they're going to increase it more, if they're just going to stop and make a new activity. Knowing MiHoYo, they're going to make a new activity. Same design, but different enemies, a different skill tree. I could just see them doing that because it makes you waste more time. So they're just expanding on what we have. Because if they would have did it in the last one, we'd be a lot stronger. But obviously, they don't want us to be strong. They want us to be weak. In my opinion, the trend in this game, you're more often than not, you are weak. Which makes the grind because you're always weak. And Swarm Disaster is no design, is no, what do I want to say? It's not a stranger to this. Swarm Disaster is still for the free-to-play players is going to fall in the same gap that there was with the Memory of Chaos, but probably even significantly higher. So yeah, I just realized I said the same thing like 5 times in a row. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. I'm sleepy, but I still want to make this video. So yeah, I hope this made sense. If you don't get it, comment something down below if what I said doesn't make sense. I can try to explain it better, but I will end up just showing you guys a video of what I mean. I'll run it, go all the way through, and show you guys exactly what I mean when I say that her defensive stat just goes up the window sometimes, and it's purely all based off of your teammates, and you just die for that. More often than not, you will just die because you only have so much health on your characters, and it's just really nothing you can do sometimes. That's really what it boils down to. You just throw your hands up and just take that. So, thanks for watching if you watched. I appreciate y'all, alright? Y'all already know. Drop a like on the video if you liked it. Comment something down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.